Hello and welcome back to Comic Vantage. Today is that very special day of the week. It's New Comic Book Wednesday. But first, before we get into all that, I just want to say sorry if my voice sounds a little scratchy or if I kind of cut the video quick. I am getting over a case of the con crud. I came down with a cold from the con. Apparently I'm not the only one, so so please excuse any of that noise. Second thing before we start, I want to say thank you to everyone who has entered my 1,000 subscriber contest. This has actually been absolutely insane. It's taking on a complete life of its own. I am loving it. The first contest I ever ran had like 17 entries. The second one I ran had 83 entries. This one topped 140 within 24 hours of opening. And there are still 3 days left, so people get your entries in there. We got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday I'll pick the winner. Also, the Saturday's video where I pick the winner will start the next week, week 2 of Christmas in July. So you'll actually have to get your entries in there as well. And every week I am going to ask a different question because I just want to know about my audience out there. The responses I'm getting this week from your favorite superheroes are amazing. I am loving the interaction with all you people out there. And some of the people that I've never seen before who have never commented on any of my videos, just popping up randomly and telling me little stories or about their favorite character. I love it. I'm having so much fun. I'm probably having more fun than you guys out there who are going to win this stuff. So it's amazing. All right, let's get started. First book this week from Image, we have Death or Glory #3. This book, wow, this cover is gorgeous. I actually picked this cover on purpose because, man, look at that. It's beautiful. But this week, the story was a little on the slow side. It starts off with our friend Glory just telling her story. It does lay down a lot of groundwork, so you see where she came from, her history, and everything else. But really, it's just page after page of just background. So that was a little disappointing because it really is a lot slower from previous books. And it's about half the book that's like this. Still worth picking it up if you're a fan, if you've been enjoying the story, just to get her side of everything. And then it cuts right in to the action. And they have tracked down Korean Joe and where his hideout is to go and steal his money. Artwork, again, on par with the last 2 issues. It's really good. Totally fits with the story and the dialogue and everything else. And it's a great story. I'm having a lot of fun. So they track down Korea Joe, and they're trying to free the people and get the money so she can get Red, her dad, his liver transplant. And of course, you know, nothing goes as it should. Man, look at this last panel. Ooh, boy. God, good stuff. It really is a good story. Like I said, this one was a little slow, but it was a lot of fun. Next up, a new book for me this week was Lady Mechanica #1. It's good old Joe Bonetta's story. I picked up the first issue of Lady Mechanica I ever read was from the free comic book day. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. How come I've never seen this before? This is a direct continuation right from that. So there are several miniseries I need to get back to and actually catch up on this whole thing. So we have Lady Mechanica, who apparently has mechanical arms and legs, and she has no idea how that happened. In the free comic book day issue, we had her meeting a little demon who remembered her and talked about the master who created both of them. And she went and she stole a mechanical arm like hers that was then stolen from her by someone with abilities and body like hers. So she knows there's more people like her out there. And that group actually told her they knew her. Oh, look, a centerfold. It's the last time you saw an awesome centerfold in a comic book. Oh, that's so cool. Love it. This was a really good story. I'm having a lot of fun. Like I said, I've never read this before until the free comic book day. And I gotta say, I really enjoyed it. The artwork is amazing. The story is really good. I'm having fun with it. I will definitely keep picking this up. It's beautiful. Man, look at that. Anyway, that's a must grab. Next up, Sword Daughter #2 from Dark Horse Comics. This is a really, really good story. And look at this cover again. Wow, just absolutely beautiful. If I'm not mistaken, this was the variant cover. because the LCS only had one. And my LCS was closed today because of the 4th of July, and they didn't even receive their stash of books for some reason. They only received like 2 cases out of their 13 cases of books are missing this week. So I had to resort to a different local store to go and get my books. But again, we have Elsbeth, who is this young girl right here, and her dad has pretty much been in a comatose state for the last 10 years since her village was burned down by a group called the 40 Swords. And this is them just going and trying to get revenge. The artwork is really good. Storyline, also really good. I'm loving it. You can just tell this thing is going to get very, very visceral just from the last 2 issues that we've been reading here. So they hitch a ride to a small town called Shetland, which is supposed to lead them to where the 40 Swords are. And when they get there, they're accused of murdering a girl. And he's like, hey, you know, this is Elsbeth's dad. He's like, we didn't do this, but I can find out who did it for you. And they do. They found the gentleman who did this. I don't believe they ever say his name. What was really cool is that this man begins to talk about how he has voices in his head who tell him who to kill and his victims, and the voices get louder and louder. It's almost like he's a very early serial killer, which was a really interesting twist. But at the same side, he wants to be stopped. He knows that he will never stop, so he needs someone to do it for him. So he threatens Elsbeth. And, you know, as her father, he needs to take care of that. So it was really interesting. I'm really, really digging the story. Like I said, it's going to be very visceral. And I love a good revenge story. And that's totally what this is. It is a revenge story. So this is a must-grab. And next up, from Marvel Comics, we have X-Men Gold number 31, the aftermath of the Kitty Pryde Colossus non-wedding issue. But they only touch upon the wedding for like, oh boy, where is it? Really, it's like 3 pages. That's it. The whole story is really about Rachel. And how she's still dealing with Mesmero. He said he's been screwing around in her head for the last several months. So we have this whole Kitty Pryde and Colossus thing going on. And you get a few pages in, and it jumps to the future. And you have the X-Men in an internment camp being surrounded by Sentinels. And you have this whole storyline now of them trying to break free from the Sentinels. This was a really, really good story. I know a lot of people have been kind of complaining the last few issues of X-Men Gold haven't been that great. This one definitely picked up the pace. So you have them freeing themselves, and you have a whole bunch of X-Men destroying some Sentinels, and a whole bunch of X-Men dying. And by the time you get to the last page, Rachel is in full hound, and she's the one that's hunting them down right now. And then you got this awesome panel here where I guess everything is actually happening present day, and she's seeing everything in the future, and someone is oddly controlling her. This was a really, really good issue. I'm very excited. I want to see where this goes, so definite must buy. And next up from IDW, we have The Cape Fallen. This was another one of those books. I saw it. I wanted to give it a shot. There is a Cape miniseries out before this that's supposed to be extremely awesome, so I'm kind of jumping the gun here, grabbing this one. So we have our hero, Eric, who apparently picked up a cape and now has superpowers. And this whole book is him trying to escape. I'm not even sure what he's running away from. I guess the first series, he discovers this cape, he gets powers, and he goes on like a revenge spree, just getting back at everyone who was ever wronged him in any way. And Now you have him flashing back to his dad and his brother, and they're visiting an old cabin. And that's where he's running back to. He wants to run back to this old cabin, and he ends up finding people who are there. And these people are there for a weekend of LARPing. They are there to play some Dungeons and Dragons and to LARP. And one of them is an old friend of his from school. So he decides to stay and hang out with them and join them. And it was a really neat story. I like this. I want to see where it goes. Oh, look at this splash page here in the middle. And just from what I read here, I really want to go back and pick up the original miniseries now and read it. It looks really good. Next month, they're all in their get-up for LARPing. It's kind of awesome. Yeah, this was really good. The storytelling was great. The artwork was great. I'm sad I have not read the original miniseries first, but I am going to hunt it down now and definitely pick it up. So this is going to be on my pull list for now. And next, hot off the Jim Henson Labyrinth coattails is Jim Henson's Beneath the Dark Crystal. Look at this. Look at this gorgeous Virgin cover. Man, it's a beautiful book. I saw it and I had to pick it up. I also know there's another series out before this called The Power of the Dark Crystal. I have not read, but this was a lot of fun. They do mention Jen and Kira a lot from the original movie, but they make no appearance in the book. But we do have Kenslow, who appeared in the last story. This is Kenslow right here. And we also have Therma, who is the being made of fire, who was also in the last story. And it's more about her than anything else. And I think that's why it's called Beneath the Dark Crystal, because it's all about the fire world. And they're discovering that this fire world is real, and she's being crowned. I guess they're crowning her the High Ember, which is essentially their queen, and she is being challenged. This was fun. This was a lot of fun, especially if you like Dark Crystal. This brought back a lot of memories. It was just kind of a blast. Being a child of the 80s and 90s, you grew up watching these kind of movies, so I had to pick it up. Had to. And man, just look at that cover. Just pick it up for that cover alone. God, so gorgeous. And after that, we have, from Marvel Comics, Death of the Inhumans, #1. And this is the Young Guns variant. Wow, this was another one. I believe there was 2 Young Gun variants for this book this week, but I had to get this one. This is the one that's after the old Frank Miller cover. It's absolutely beautiful. And this is the fall of the Kree Empire. They talk about early Kree and how they came here and enslaved early man and changed them and all kinds of stuff. And then it leads to the fall of the Kree Empire, and they want to now reclaim their test subjects and their scientific experiments to put back into their army. And they put all Inhumans on notice: join or die. And this essentially is what the entire book is about. Black Bolt leading his people. And the Kree are coming for them. And we have this awesome new villain. His name is Vox. He's so cool looking. Actually, I don't know if he's new or not, but damn, he's just awesome anyway. He's supposed to be one of their new genetically enhanced super Inhumans. And he has this nifty little scythe that he carries around. Looks like it's made of energy. And also his pretty wicked face mask. Look at that. It opens up. And he sends out energy pulses from it. Which reminds me a lot of Chamber from the X-Men. But this was really good. I enjoyed this story. God, just look at that cover. That cover alone is worth buying this book. This thing is just beautiful. Man, look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. Oh, and forgive the odd pops and bangs and stuff in the background. It is 4th of July, so there are fireworks already going off in my neighborhood. And the next book up from Image Comics is Medieval Spawn and Witchblade. Another gorgeous Brian Haberlin book. And this brings us to our Spawn and Witchblade finally meeting each other. Oh man, the artwork in this book is absolutely beautiful. It is so realistic. I mean, Brian Haberlin is just nailing it. I had the pleasure of meeting this gentleman this weekend at the amazing Las Vegas Comic Con. Got him to sign issue number 1 and 2 for me. And he's an awesome storyteller too. I mean, wow, just look at that Spawn. Look at that. How do you pull that off? That thing is amazing. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Oh, like I said, by the time we get to our end of our book, the first issue was all about Spawn and how his creation, and the second one was all about the new Witchblade and her creation, and then her journey. And by the time we get to the end of the book, they are coming together. And of course, you know, you gotta have the obligatory misunderstanding where they have to fight each other first. This was a good book. It was a lot of fun to read. I'm really enjoying the story. It's only 3 issues in, so if you haven't read it yet, make sure you pick it up. And the last book on our list this week is another new one from IDW, and this is Lowlifes. Now, this book, I had no idea what to expect, never heard anything about it, never seen it before, and I just wanted to grab it and check it out because, you know, I like all kinds of new books. And it starts off with these 2 gentlemen in a car kind of scoping out somebody's house. And one gentleman is handing another gentleman a gun, saying, you know, Wendell won't let you get away, you have to do this, and then he just kind of shoots him in the head. I was like, what is going on here? Why is this happening? And then it flashes to 2 days previous. And you find out this gentleman that got shot in the head here, his name is Richard. Richard is a cop. And then we also meet Richard's girlfriend. I believe her name is Denise. And Denise has been through a very traumatic experience. And our friend Richard has no idea what to do about it. And the man who did this is tormenting her still, and there is no way they can prove this. And then they flash to Richard in his car with his partner, and she's talking about something shady going down. And she tries to blow it off when he gets in the car. And she's like, well, you know, your little problem you have, we can have Wendell take care of it. Huh. We have no idea who Wendell is yet. But I'm thinking Wendell's some kind of gangster, because Wendell is the one who's paying them off. This book, you know, we have the whole story ending with him going to Wendell's, walking in the door. Next month, Lowlifes number 2. Yeah, this book seems like it is going to be violent. And I'm talking ultra violent with a great story. The artwork's amazing. The dialogue is beautiful. I'm not even quite sure what this is reminding me of, but wow, it was just really good. Like I said, I had no idea what to expect. I grabbed it because it's a cool number 1 issue. This is a retailer incentive variant cover too that they had on the shelf, which was kind of nice. Wow, it was good. Definite must grab right now. First issue is out this week. I'd say pick it up if you're into, I would say, I'm assuming this is going to come to revenge and action and just, I don't even know where this is going to go, but I have a feeling it's going to be a lot of fun. So those are my books for the week. Now, I wanted to end the video on something a little bit special here. Over the weekend, or actually right before the weekend, I received a package in the mail. I got an AOK from my buddy Daz the Key Chaser, all the way over in the UK. I kind of love these stamps. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Absolutely amazing. Now, I knew what the book was. I still know what the book is. I still wanted to, you know, give it a quick open on camera. I already popped the seal on this thing, so I don't have to deal with any tape or anything. I wanted to show this to everyone here. And this is the first issue of Xenober. This awesome, awesome, awesome dragon variant cover. Man, this thing is beautiful. I have not read this book yet. I have heard a lot of good things about it. I'm really, really happy to own this. I'm so glad he sent this to me. You are awesome, Daz. I love this. Because I haven't been able to find a copy myself, so this was really cool. Now, along with that, we have a couple handwritten notes. And one is from Daz, right here. So I want to read this, and it says, "To Comic Vantage, thank you so much for everything you have done for us, pal. You have been a good friend. I always look forward to our chats. It's a shame we live so far away. It would be awesome to hit a con together. Keep showing those awesome books. Daz the Key Chaser." You know, I feel the exact same way. You are an awesome guy. I would love to hit a con with you someday. So never say never, because, you know, who knows? And along with that was another note, and this one is from his son, Uncanny Ethan. Now, if you haven't seen this, I sent Uncanny Ethan a book. And it was a really, really special book, and I'm so glad that he loved it so much, and he wrote me this cool little note. So this made my day right here. It says, "To Comic Vantage, thank you so much for my Stan Lee book. It is the best one in my collection. Thank you also for being my friend. I love your channel, and I hope you enjoy your book, Uncanny Ethan." Isn't that awesome? It's just one of the coolest little things right there. I love it. And I love all you guys out there. Every one of you. Absolutely amazing. So, like always, these are my books for the week. And these are my opinions. Your mileage may vary. Again, you guys out there, this is the 4th of July, so have a happy and safe 4th of July, and you have 3 days left to get your entries into my contest. That's only week 1, though, so if you missed week 1, you still got 2, 3, and 4 that you can enter. So, unless you win, then you can't enter. So, make sure you guys go and do that, and then on Saturday, make sure you re-enter for the week 2. So anyway, like always, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure that little CV over there, hit that bell notification. Got lots of cool stuff coming. And like always, thank you for watching, and take it easy.